You know that person in your life who just seems to be holding it all together? They're the quiet pillar of the family, the absolute backbone of a team at work. They aren't looking for the spotlight, but you just know without them, things would totally fall apart. Well, today, we're unlocking the world of the number 4 personality, the unsung architect of our world. Let's really dig in to what makes them tick.
Get this. This thought right here, this is what's often echoing in the mind of a number 4. And it's not about ego, it's not a desire for control. It comes from this deep, gut-level sense of responsibility. It's that quiet voice inside that says, look, someone has to make sure this is done right.
And you know, that voice isn't just a thought that pops up now and then. For a 4, it is a core state of being. It's this constant, low-humming awareness of consequence, this feeling that they just can't afford to be careless, because they're the ones building the foundation for everyone else.
And that really brings us to their fundamental role in the world, the stabilizer. See, a number 4 doesn't just participate in life. They feel this deep, innate compulsion to hold it all together, to provide the structure that allows everything else and everyone else to function.
So to really get a 4, you've got to understand their core themes. Everything, and I mean everything, revolves around these concepts. Stability, structure, effort. They are so grounded in reality, and they're driven by this deep desire to build things that are going to endure, whether that's a career, a family, or just a really well-organized project.
But what's really going on behind that calm, super dependable exterior? Okay, let's take a look inside the 4's mind. Because their inner blueprint, well, it's often a very different world from the one they show on the outside.
Okay, this is where it gets really fascinating. On the outside, what you see is someone who's serious, reliable, grounded, hardworking, right? But what's going on inside? A whole different story. There's this constant hum of pressure. While they look calm, their mind is always planning, checking, and trying to get ahead of any potential problems. They carry that weight really quietly.
So how does a 4 manage all that inner pressure? With structure. For them, safety isn't found in spontaneity or, let's just see what happens. No way. Safety is found in predictability. Uncertainty creates this deep inner tension for them. They absolutely thrive when the systems are clear, expectations are defined, and they know exactly what that next logical step is. And this just perfectly illustrates their thought process. These are the questions a 4 is always asking, both of themselves and everyone around them. They think sequentially. They think practically. They trust a solid, proven process way more than they'll ever trust hype or some vague promise.
All right, so let's take this inner blueprint for stability and structure and see how it actually plays out in the most important areas of their lives, at work and in their relationships.
At work, a 4 is a rock, a pillar of consistency. They excel in fields like engineering, finance, project management, basically any role that requires clear processes and tangible results. But put them under disorganized leadership with unclear goals and constant last-minute changes, that is their personal version of chaos. They need to see that their effort actually leads to real solid outcome.
And their relationship with money follows that exact same pattern. For a 4, money isn't about luxury or showing off. It's a tool. It represents security, stability, and safety. This is why they're so often careful savers who plan for the long term, building a financial foundation that can weather pretty much any storm.
When it comes to love, a 4's language is pure action. Big, flowery romantic gestures are way less important than unwavering commitment and reliability. They show love by showing up. Every single time. They are the person who will fix your leaky faucet or help you with your taxes, because for them, doing is the ultimate expression of care. But this can also be a real challenge. When a 4 is hurt, their instinct is to pull away from the messiness of emotion and retreat into the safety of structure. They might throw themselves into their work, not because they don't care, but because the world of tasks and logic feels manageable when their feelings just don't.
And that brings us to a really crucial turning point. What happens when a 4 is overwhelmed or unbalanced? Well, their greatest strength, that love for structure, can actually become their greatest weakness. It can become a cage.
Under stress, their preference for order starts to harden, and all that flexibility just disappears. Suddenly, new ideas or sudden shifts aren't challenges to be solved anymore. They're seen as threats to their stability.
And that need to manage outcomes can spiral into a need to control people and situations, sometimes without them even realizing it.
And finally, emotions get seen as inefficient, messy data points that just need to be ignored. And just like that, the cage is complete.
But, and this is so important, It doesn't have to be this way. There is absolutely a path to growth, a way for the 4 to master their own blueprint and become a truly unshakable force for good in the world.
So this is the real work for a 4 on that path to mastery. Learning that true stability is flexible, not brittle. That rest isn't laziness, it's a vital part of the building process. That feelings are actually valuable information. And maybe the biggest one of all, that their worth is inherent. It doesn't have to be earned through constant grinding effort.
So this is the key transformation. A mature 4 learns to build systems that are strong, yes, but also adaptable. They create structures that actually support life, giving it room to breathe and grow, instead of suffocating it under the weight of control. Their strength becomes enduring, not exhausting.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? An unbalanced 4, trapped in their own rigid structures, can feel the immense weight of their responsibility. But an integrated 4, someone who has learned these lessons, they become truly unshakable, a steady, dependable, and wise foundation for everyone lucky enough to be around them.
And that really leaves us with a powerful question to reflect on. Whether you're a 4 yourself or you love one, a 4 has this incredible, powerful instinct to build and to carry the load. The ultimate mastery for them lies in discovering how that amazing instinct for structure can be used not just to contain life, but to truly and beautifully support it.